I remember this like it was yesterday. There was a time they were just all over Reagan. The deficits, and Ronald Reagan, and the deficits are crazy, and the deficits are going crazy, and Ronald Reagan's got to answer for these deficits, and these deficits are so out of line, and it's unbelievable, and it's crazy, and these deficits, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this man, I was young, I was high school, I guess. And I'm thinking to myself watching this, I'm like, how is this guy going to answer this question? This man is going to be crucified. He's spent all this money. He's terrible. Oh, my goodness, I can't believe this. Ronald Reagan stands up and says, so everybody wants to know why I'm to blame for the deficits. And he says, the president doesn't spend one dime. It's the Congress. It's the House and the Senate that hold the purse strings. They're the one who passes the budget. They're the ones who have the final say. Don't blame me, blame them. I was like, wow, that was a politically stroke of genius. But ultimately, in the end, Nancy Reagan was that gentle giant behind the scenes. And you watch Trump, you listen to Rubio, you listen to Cruz, you listen to Hillary, you listen to Bernie, and it's like, and I know history, we always forget the bad of history and we remember the good. There were political fights, there was, to the death match deal, but when Reagan would sit with Tip O'Neill and hash out an agreement, that was it, right? Now, John Boehner tries to hash out an agreement with Obama, everyone calls him a liberal. Right? You have Congressman Shimkus, who is criticized for voting for a budget with a Democratic president in which he voted to avoid a government shutdown and so that we wouldn't crash the markets. And now he's being challenged by a conservative saying he's too liberal. In today's world, you put two people up in a room, one has to be more conservative than the other. One has to be out conservative the other one. And if he doesn't, then he's a liberal, and then he's bad-mouthed. So that's why you get presidents talking about the size of their genitalia in a presidential debate. Because common sense has long since left this conversation. And the death of Nancy Reagan, for me anyway, has just sort of brought back into memory a kindler time when the two political parties just hated each other, and whereas today, where they want to kill each other. Yeah, it's really sad where we are. But here's a woman who has a son who's the biggest liberal possible. Here's a woman who was for stem cell research, right? Who sat and praised President Obama for her work with stem cell research, sat and praised Ted Kennedy for his work in some areas that she thought was important. Now she would be vilified. Reagan Democrats, you're not allowed to be a Republican if Democrats like you. How is that? How are you able to win if one of the things your candidate must have is that Democrats hate you? The more Democrats hate you, the more I like you. How is that any recipe for success? Oh, wait a minute. John Kasich? The Democrats like him. Nope, he's out. No chance. Democrats like him. They know something we don't. He is out. Ted Cruz, nobody likes Ted Cruz. He's perfect for us. Whereas the Reagan Democrats, right, swept in Reagan to 2 terms. The Senate became Democratic. The Senate became Republican. I mean, think about that for a second. It was historic how many Democrats supported Ronald Reagan. But the passing of Nancy, just sort of a couple of my thoughts as I've watched the news over the last 24 hours. Sad times we're in. Sad times. 314-969-KTRS, 1-888-550-KTRS, or star KTRS. Those are the phone numbers. Got a good night's sleep last night thanks to the bedroom store. I sleep on the iZone bed.